Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. It's Saturday, and I mean sports day. And as you probably know, if you're a regular viewer of the channel's content, I have been looking at wrestling games. And last time out, we looked at Champions of the Galaxy from Filsinger Games, which was a tabletop game, or is a tabletop game. It does have an online element that I have not looked at yet, and I may do that because I do use it. But in this installment, we'll be taking a look at the game Pro Wrestling Superstar, which is a PC game based on the old classic tabletop game Superstar Pro Wrestling. And this game has a lot of features at a pretty reasonable price tag of only $10 US. So let's take a look at some of the things this game can do. Okay, so you can obviously run matches. That's the simplest, most basic element here. So if we click Run Match, you'll have a list of all the wrestlers that you've downloaded. Now this is a game that has, I believe, over 5,000 available wrestlers, and you'll see there's multiple versions depending on which set you download. Now, this is free, and the game stores a repository of these, and you can pull them down and import whoever you would like. So you can just pick from anybody that you've downloaded and run matches with them. But before we do that, let's talk about some of the other things you can do. So in terms of matches, you can run a singles match, a tag team match, of course. You also have 6-man tag, triple threat, fatal 4-way. You can adjust the time limit. You can have count outs or not. You can have some specialty match types like Steel Cage, Texas Death, Russian Chain, Battle Royales, all that stuff. It's all available in here. It's got a full database to track everything, and we can look at that if we'd like by looking here on the repository. Well, this is the wrestler repository. So these are the sets that are in here, and you can see there's a decent amount. So if you wanted to look at wrestlers from 79, you have these guys here. Right, or say 86. You have these guys here. Now, that's not going to be comprehensive. These are done by users of the game. So, this is a specific subset, shall we say, of all the wrestlers who are active in 86. But you can also create your own. So, I like this deluxe edition, which has a lot of wrestlers and a lot of big name wrestlers. So, again, you can download these. There are also women and all kinds of stuff. Golden Age. So you have some of the older guys in here as well. That's a pretty big set, as you can see. Mostly wrestlers from the 70s and 80s. And you can see who did them. And you can create your own set and upload it to the repository so that it would be available for others to use. You can view any wrestler. So if we wanted to see Andre the Giant's card from the deluxe edition, here's his card. Now, if you've played Superstar Pro Wrestling, this will be fairly familiar. Let's bring it out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So you have his general card, and basically the way the game works is that you roll 2 dice, 2d6, and you'll get a number on here that'll indicate either the defensive card or the offensive card, and then you can see here's his defensive card, here's his offensive card, with various moves on it. Occasionally you can hit this big squash, which is kind of his submission or finisher, and that will give you the ability to win the match. And you can see tag team ratings, all kinds of stuff in here, right? Submission rating, etc., etc. Other things you can do is view a card. Now, if you've created a card, it would be in here. I haven't created one, so it's not in here. You can create a promotion, right? So you click New Promotion, and then you give it a long name, like World Wrestling Federation, right? And then the short name would be WWF or whatever it may be. And again, you can create your own, and they can be real or fictional. It's up to you. Very, very, very flexible, which of course is a hallmark of most, if not all, wrestling games, is that there's a lot of open-endedness to it, for obvious reasons if you are a fan of wrestling. So these are all promotions. Then you have your run matches, and you can see you can run a tournament, a battle royale, all this stuff, right? Under file, so we have wrestler editor, tag team editor, card editor, Here's our result database. If we open up a result database, I have one in here which has a couple of things in it. Then you can view, if you wanted to view single win-loss records. I ran a match between Bruno Sammartino and Chief Jay Strongbow. You can click that and you can see win-loss record for Bruno Sammartino, the date it was run, the type of event. You can add a location if you want, who the opponent was, result, match type, match time, finish type, finishing move. And this will keep track. Also, if you have a promotion, it'll keep track of title belts and everything like that as well. You have managers as well. So you can, if you have any managers, you can load one. We'll take a look at Jim Cornette. You can see he's got a retaliation range, and he's got some actions. That's a misspelling, but you get the idea. Whack with a tennis racket, and so on, and then an effect that will come, and you can configure that as well, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, an interference range, and so on. And then you just close it, and it's all stored in JSON. If you're a programmer type like I am, you would know what that is. But this is a very, very well done, fleshed out game with a pretty large community of people who enjoy playing it, and a lot of wrestlers to bring in. And you know, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, it only costs $10, so it is pretty cheap. Now let's take a quick look at running a match. So we're just going to run a singles match here. And let's see, who do we want? Let's do... I like Roddy Piper, so let's do Roddy Piper. We'll click and add him here. And maybe we'll do him against... oh, I don't know. About Kerry von Erich. Okay, and now if you check this box that makes them computer controlled, there aren't a lot of choices. It's mostly rolling dice, which of course is done on the computer. There are some choices you can make about whether or not to attempt a pin and things like that, but you can also elect to just have it be both guys controlled by the PC. So let's just do, I'll control Piper, and Kerry von Erich will be controlled by the PC, the AI. It's not really an AI, but you get the idea, right? So you roll against your general card. So right here, so we click roll dice, it'll roll. So he picks DC. And then Kerry von Erich rolled an OC, and he gets, he's trying to execute, or he executes a full Nelson. We roll the defense, and it tells us how many points were scored. And then, so we can see here he rolled an 11, which is an A, which is the better or best of the defensive moves, which is why he actually gains a couple points himself. Here you can see his score is 2, and Von Erich's is 6. And up here it'll keep track, and if we go to 30 minutes, it would be a draw. And then you just continue in that vein. So every time you're going to roll against a general card, it'll tell you what he gets. Roll DC, they both roll DC, so basically you just roll again. Alright, if you both roll offense, then you will both try to attempt an offense. Now Roddy Piper is attempting a pin. So you can see here PA, which means pin attempt on the sleeper. So we roll again. 1, 2. Alright, he kicks out, and we get 3 extra points for the pin attempt. So they're tied at 14 right now, and we'll move on to the next minute. They both roll OC again. So he's got knee drop to the rib cage for 8, and Von Erich has a knee lift for 8. So still tied here. Let me move on. DC, so Kerry von Erich executes a power slam. Now Piper will roll his defense. Again, he rolled a good defensive roll and got a couple points, but he is trailing now. All right, Von Erich executes a spin under takedown rather, sorry. Piper's rolling for his. He got a reverse, which is why, so you roll a 12, it's a reverse, He's got an arm drag for a 6. Kerry von Erich attempted to defend. He scored 2. 6th minute. They both roll offense. 6 points for Piper, 9 for von Erich. Move on. 7th minute. Again, they both roll offense. All right, so he's got a figure 4 leg lock. Kerry von Erich does not submit. Bring him into ring post. Now von Erich is attempting the pin, and Piper kicks out. All right, moving on, 10 minutes in. This is a classic match here. Roll the ropes card, smash to prefrontal lobe. That's very specific. 6 points and an 8-point knee lift. Go to the 11th minute. Flying leg lock. That's an 11-point move. You can see the points over here. 11-point, right? If we go to the ropes chart here. Very straightforward. The one thing I've noticed playing all these wrestling games is a lot of them share characteristics, shall we say. So that's, as you would expect. I mean, really, if you play baseball, tabletop baseball games, there's similarities as well. Okay, and we're both going for OC. Now you see the OCTT, that's tag team, which obviously does not do anything in a singles match. So von Erich has a pretty sizable lead. He's clearly the one in charge here in this match. Piper has submitted as von Erich straps in the brain claw, the famous von Erich claw, and or brain claw, iron claw, right? They made a movie. Which I actually saw on a flight to Germany. That was pretty cool. It was an entertaining movie, even though they left some stuff out. And obviously it was a movie, so they had to, put some Hollywood on it. Anyway, so here you can put whatever your date is that you want this match to have taken place. So if you are doing a 70s Fed, you can put in a date from the 70s or the 80s or whatever it may be. You can have your own events, etc. So you can have your own WrestleMania type thing, big pay-per-view, blowout, whatever. It's very, very flexible. If you want to save it, also you can put in a location, so you can say it was at Madison Square Garden or something, and type that in. You select your database. You can create a new one right here on the fly. You hit OK, and it's in here now. Now if we go to where is it? Result database. You can open it up and view. You can do rankings. It'll tell you who won, the won-loss record. So von Erich, San Martino, and Andre the Giant are all 1-0. Piper, Strongbow, and Backlund are 0-1. I added Adrian Adonis. You can add a wrestler even if he hasn't wrestled yet. So you just come here and you can say add wrestler or team record. If you wanted to put in a tag team, if you had some, you could put them in. I don't have any, obviously. But if you wanted to add, I don't know, let's add Dick the Bruiser, let's say. Just do that. And then if we view the single rankings again, you'll see Dick the Bruiser's in here with a 000 record. So I don't want to make this too long. As I mentioned, you can create your own promotion. You hit new promotion, you put your name in. I think, yeah, I have. Oh, I don't have a promotion. But once you have a promotion, you can add wrestlers to it. You can mix and match, create your own, as I said, all that stuff. Wrestlers can have managers and valets that we saw with the manager editor. You can delete your database and start over. All kinds of stuff. So again, repositories where you'll grab your wrestlers and then you can view wrestlers or cards if you have any. If you wanted to do run card, this is how you would load a card. If you wanted to create a card, you would open the card editor and click New Card, and then you can enter all this information in here by clicking the Edit button. Change all that if you want, right? And then you would add individual matches where you just pick matches like we just did, and you can have your you can disable disqualifications. You can set no time limit. You can set a time limit. You have the different types of matches you can run. You can do tag team. You can do 6-man team, etc., etc. So that's going to do it for this one. I do thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I may do more on this. I'm considering about using this for my Figment universe. You saw that I had the Figment database in there, just to play around with. But that will do it for this look at this particular game. I still do plan on doing kind of a wrap-up where I look at the various things. I might do another video on the Champions of the Galaxy as well, because it has an online element that I think is pretty interesting to use. So to kind of compare and contrast with the the physical card version. So there are multiple ways to enjoy that particular game as well. But as I said, that's going to wrap this one up. So I'm Joe. This is the sports edition of Hexed Encountered. Please feel free to like, share, and/or subscribe, send comments, etc. as always. But until next time, as always, happy gaming.